Sometimes the generational stuff comes from my mother's side.
So, give me a little glimpse into your childhood then.
Playing piano and stuff like that was just another chore around the house, like washing the woodwork, washing dishes, cutting grass. So basically that was what that was. As far as kids and fun and stuff like that, I was pretty sheltered. They kind of made sure that I came home and practiced a lot. So socially I was a little overexcited when I went to school, so I would get in trouble because I was overexcited to be around all my friends because I was never around them during the non-school hours. And that carried on into high school when I started going to a school 40 miles away, pretty much illegally, because the neighborhood I come from is very tough, and I started getting into trouble, and so then my mother wanted me to go to a school further away to have better influences, and so then that cut out all social activities for my junior high school and high school career. So it was very isolated type of time for me in terms of socially, so I always got a lot out of being at school around the kids, but when I wasn't at school, it was back home, a 40-mile trip back to Camden, back to the only child existence in a big house, comic books, encyclopedias, pianos, and then I would go into the Settlement Music School in Philadelphia to study other classical masters and stuff like that. Once I got to a certain age, once I got to the point where it was time to turn me over to those teachers who could teach me that advanced classical music, beyond my mother and great grandmother's grasp of teaching, that is, or preference of teaching. So that pretty much sums up what it was like. Very extreme. I'm either around a bunch of kids in a learning environment, or I'm very much by myself in kind of a emotional home where a lot of stuff's going on emotionally and all this, and I'm seeking refuge in music or comic books or fantasies in my mind, stuff like that.
Do you still seek that refuge?
I can pretty much project it through the piano, and I give everybody some refuge from the throes and woes of life to a degree, and give us all something to play with. So pretty much a movie experience.
From a childhood perspective, when do you first remember touching the piano?
I was about 2 or 3. I remember playing around on the piano and just like any kid, just sat on it, something like that. My feet were off the ground when I sat on the piano bench, so one of those things.
Got any pictures of that?
Yeah. I have a picture. It's on Facebook.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
So, the first song you ever played on the piano, can you give us that tune?
Well, I would have had to have learned it. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be in me when I first started playing. So, let's see.
A childhood tune. What comes
Twinkle,
to
Twinkle,
mind?
Little Star, something like that.
So, as an adult, how do you change that with the same meaning?
Reinterpret.
Thanks for sharing.